RFID stands for radio frequency identification. Anything that communicates using radio waves needs to be able to identify and differentiate itself from other things. The first use of RFID was in the 1940s to identify and differentiate military aircraft. It's what allowed the Allies to determine which plane was a friend and which one was not. Today, RFID is still used by the military as well as commercial airplanes. RFID is also used by countless other things. The keys to open your car door, the automatic payment passes used in toll booths, building access systems, passports, payment cards, and even student ID cards, wireless sensors and mesh networks, laptop and tablet computers, as well as music players and other devices that connect to wireless networks use a unique identifier called the Media Access Control or MAC address. Bluetooth devices such as headsets for your mobile phone also use this method for wireless identification. The EAS or Electronic Article Surveillance tags you see on clothes and retail stores are not RFID, even though the word surveillance implies that they are. EAS tags don't uniquely identify an item. They only identify if the item it is attached to has been paid for or not. But the most common device that uses radio frequency identification is your mobile phone. The International Mobile Equipment Identity, or IMEI, uniquely identifies a specific mobile phone being used on a mobile network. In fact, this mobile phone uses 3 different radio frequency identifiers, an IMEI and 2 MAC addresses for both network and Bluetooth communication. As you can see, there are many different types of devices that identify themselves using radio communication, and it's easy to get them confused. There's no need to be concerned if you don't understand the differences. Just remember that RFID only provides a unique wireless identification for objects. It serves as the conduit between the physical world and the digital world because it allows physical objects to be identified and differentiated by computers. Without these different kinds of RFID, there could be no wireless networks because there would be no way to know the difference between 2 different wirelessly connected objects.
PayPal's global head of developer evangelism, Jonathan LeBlanc, is pushing implantable brain chips as a replacement for passwords, but insists that such technology must be made to fit inside cultural norms before it is accepted by the general public. In a presentation called Kill All Passwords, LeBlanc admits that the future of authentication security is, quote, going to get creepy as traditional passwords are phased out due to their innumerable security flaws. LeBlanc envisages using brain chips to measure thought patterns so that childhood memories could be invoked by the user to unlock their computer.
If you're measuring thought patterns, think of the future of identification on that source. You walk up to your computer and go to unlock it, and what happens is you're thinking, I'm thinking of a memory back when I was a child, and that's my unlock code. Brain patterns directly to laptop. Amazing piece of identity and something that really no one can have because it's a memory.
LeBlanc also discusses how biohacking companies are already using embedded NFC and RFID tags to unlock doors. In January, the BBC reported on a company in Sweden that was implanting its workers with computer chips under the skin in order for them to access the building.
It's making our lives easier. I think people will actually welcome this tool tool to make their lives easier.
And is there a sort of wider philosophy behind it?
We are early adopters of this technology. We experiment with it, we learn it, how it works, because I think that there might be a day when the tax man or the big corporates will come to us and say, hey, try this chip, try this implant. And then we, the biohackers who understand this technology, we will be able to question their proposals.
Daily ID chips with Wi-Fi sensors could also be swallowed by employees to provide secure authentication, says LeBlanc. PayPal is currently working with partners to get the ball rolling on such technology, a process LeBlanc says is part of the payment processor becoming a thought leader on the transition. I can't speculate as to what PayPal will do in the future, but we're looking at new techniques. We do have fingerprinting scanning that is being worked on right now, so we're definitely looking at the identity field, LeBlanc told the Wall Street Journal.
But realistically, the ones that will succeed, whether it's embeddable, ingestible, injectable, or what have you, are the ones that are going to play into cultural norms, the ones that are going to meet the demands of the populace overall, of all the people around, and not be creepy. So even though they seem creepy at the current time, the future are going to be the ones that hit those cultural norms.
LeBlanc's identification of cultural norms as a major hurdle to be overcome before the public becomes comfortable with wearable ID technology or implantable chips echoes similar sentiments made by Google executive Regina Duggan. During a 2013 D11 conference, Duggan said that Google was working on an ingestible microchip that would turn a user's entire body into a biological authentication system for cell phones, cars, doors, and other devices. The company is also developing a wearable e-tattoo that can decipher a user's thoughts by detecting the unvocalized words in their throat.
Does Google now know everything I do and everywhere I go? Because let's face it, we like you guys, but you're from Google.
Just give him some water and let him take that.
Duggan predicted that young people would want to adopt the e-tattoo if it was made to look cool and was seen as a form of rebellion against their parents.
It may be true that 10 to 20-year-olds don't want to wear a watch on their wrist, but you can be sure that they'll be far more interested in wearing an electronic tattoo, if only to piss off their parents.
Duggan's role in developing such technology can be placed in a somewhat sinister context, given that she is the former director of the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, an agency of the US Department of Defense, which many see as a pioneer of a dystopian Big Brother surveillance society. Google CEO Eric Schmidt even suggested earlier this year that the internet itself could one day disappear as an external concept, greasing the skids for the World Wide Web to exist inside people's brains. In December 2013, Google engineering director Scott Huffman also predicted that within 5 years, web users would have microphones attached to their ceilings and microchips embedded in their brains in order to perform quicker internet searches. Would you swallow an identification pill or have one embedded in your brain for greater password security and convenience? How could such technology be abused by governments and corporations?
Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. This is your cowboy from Plain Tables Camp in Philadelphia. Just bringing y'all some news about NFC technology and what PayPal is pushing forward. So it's not a conspiracy theory. Okay, we're not nuts. This is admitted facts that this particular corporation, PayPal, and Google are involved in. All right, you have something called NFC, which all of our cell phones, or most of them, have the NFC, which is RFID technology. It's an RFID reader. It stands for Near Field Communication. It's RFID is just RFID with a certain program with certain standards. I mean, it can only read, as you can see, one device at a time. So it's at its basis, it's RFID technology. It's wireless radio frequency, but it operates on a certain protocol. All right. So Google, PayPal, which we all use, we all have these devices in our home, RFID technology, like your cell phone, the GSM, that's RFID technology. And they're pushing this NFC technology, which is just a guise for you to authenticate your identity. It's the same thing as RFID. It's just going to be used to get this technology in your home so you can be used to it. All right. So once you're used to it, you'll more gracefully accept the RFID microchip embedded in your body, because now you can, with near field, you can wave your phone or a tag across the ATM or the device you use when you purchasing something at a store. You can just wave your chip out of your credit that has your credit card that has a chip in it. You can just wave that right across it, and you can pay for your items. So this technology it's evident. You can't say it's a conspiracy theory. There's no way you can say this is a conspiracy theory, because this is what these major corporations, what our government wants to push, and that's RFID authentication. And as you can clearly see, this demon from PayPal clearly said it. It's not. You can't say it's a theory. He just said it. That he wants to kill all these passwords and put a chip inside your body so you can verify your identity. And that's what my elders and apostles have been saying for years, and that's what we've been saying for years. That the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast, and that's going to be used to identify, to authenticate your identity. Okay? So it's going to be, so they want to have this system in place that will authenticate all your passwords. Because right now you can use your cell phone, you can use your credit card or debit card with a chip in it. But soon, people they're gonna say that you can lose your cell phone, you can lose your card. You have more of a chance to not lose something if it's attached to your body, which that's true. So they're going to use that. And how likely are you to lose your wallet than you are to lose a finger? You're more likely to lose your wallet or a card than for you to lose a hand or an arm. So they're going to look at it like that and say, okay, this is safer. This is much safer. So it's going to be a mandate, a law, whatever legal term you want to use. But somehow they're going to transfer this near field technology, which is RFID technology, from your cell phone and your credit card to your body. And you cannot say this is a conspiracy theory. He clearly stated that this is what he wants. And this man, he's not just a regular guy. He's works for a major corporation that has millions of passwords, credit card numbers, social security numbers, addresses. So he has basically an ID database. So all they're going to do is they're going to transfer all that information, that ID, all your credit cards, everything, your address, your ID numbers. They're going to transfer that all over to an RFID wireless system. So when you access your information, you won't have to use a physical password. It'll be wireless. Why? Because what they're saying it's safer and it's faster. So they're going to use that as a guise to bring in the RFID microchip as a mandatory instrument that has to be used. Soon it's not going to be. It's right now. It's optional. But soon it's going to be mandatory. So that's the information. I have the link in the descriptive box. No one can say this is a conspiracy theory about PayPal pushing, and it's not a hoax. Okay, it's making national headlines, international headlines. All right, it's a conspiracy. Okay, it's not a theory. It's a conspiracy to destroy all passwords, as it said in the article, as he said himself. He wants to kill all passwords and put a chip in you. All right, so I hope you brothers were edified. Until the next episode, Shalom Akim.